would you like to keep, when we did the prequel, one of the themes that came up, which I actually really resonate with because it's one of my favorite themes as well, was this theme of that life is actually a game. Would you like to kick off by sharing with the listeners how you first kind of clicked with that idea of life is a game? How did that come into your life as a real thing?
Well, it's a fantastic question, and I would say it's still one that is clicking in, which is to say the programming conditioning runs quite deep from the biblical monotheistic traditions, where the idea that life is a game, to me, transcends the dogmatic approach, the monocratic approach, I would call it, where it's one way or no way. Like, if you're not with us, you're against us. If you're not doing it our way, then you're going to hell. That monocratic authoritarian approach, which we see rippled out into our political structures, that people just assume that that is the way life is structured. Life is organized in that way. That's a fundamental assumption that arises within the biblical monotheistic tradition. I'm not sure if it's the cause of it. It might even go further back than the tradition itself. The idea that life is a game is a complete contrast to that. It's that we are literally playing our lives, as opposed to moral injunctions of right and wrong, that you should do this or you should do that. It's very much to see it that we are playing like children at play, if we want to borrow Jesus's injunction to become like children to enter the kingdom of heaven. That's, I think, what he was pointing to. He didn't have this system of knowledge to kind of back up that claim that we're going to get into on this call today. This is a long way of saying it's still working on me. It's still clicking within me. It's still seeping into my bones, the idea that we really can be at play here and enjoy our lives as a game, that we are not being judged as moral failures if we don't do this or that. It's rather that we may just not have as much fun. We may not be as fully satisfied or fulfilled or happy in the way that if you were playing a game with friends and it wasn't going well, you might say, well, let's play a different game, or let's try that again. It isn't like, well, we didn't do that well, so now we're going to hell. There isn't that idea of punishment. So it's been clicking in for some time now. When I first discovered these cards now 14 years ago, and as you mentioned, my background coming out of being in training to be a priest and being a born-again Christian, that programming does run deep in my own psyche, and I think for humanity in general. It's liberating, ultimately, to see that life is a game. I also, when I've felt into it deeply in my own meditations, I've found it terrifying somehow, and that might be why there's a resistance there in our human psyche, because somehow it's so liberating and so freeing that it can feel groundless, that there isn't that, again, authoritarian dogma at the bottom that we've grown accustomed to. There's real freedom to play your life,
Yeah,
enjoy your life and play it.
I totally get that. I just got a memory while you were talking of playing Monopoly as a child. Have you played Monopoly?
I used to play all games, absolutely,
Right.
yes.
So Monopoly, I think many people have heard of it. And we used to play Monopoly, and we used to just basically ravage each other in the game. You know, like I'm gonna take all your money, I'm gonna take all your properties and stuff like that. And we had a fabulous time doing it. We were able to, because we were playing,
Yeah.
and there was, you know, if I was the shoe, I was always the shoe. If I was the shoe and the shoe got sort of thrown off the board because it was bankrupt, it what didn't matter. You know, so it reminded me of that freedom of
Yeah.
placing, where there isn't actually but you play all in nevertheless. You're not just
You're
uncaring.